In Abuja, the Nigerian Army Guards Brigade has begun a competition for its soldiers to improve the combat readiness for security threats. Sifon Essien has details.
It's a grueling exercise for the soldiers of the Nigerian Army Guards Brigade. For several days, warrant officers and senior non-commissioned officers will be undertaking a competition with doubles as training. Their ability to handle weapons, engage in physical combat, read maps and cross obstacles will be tested.
It is hoped that the aim of this competition would improve leadership qualities, organizational ability, develop the level of initiative and the required team spirit amongst senior NCOs and the warrant officers.
It will be a defining moment for the soldiers as their performance may just determine their career progression.
I therefore urge you to exhibit and showcase the high standard of discipline, alertness, and readiness of your units at the brigade at large. I have no doubt that the panel of judges, as well as the organizers who are knowledgeable and experienced, will closely monitor and supervise the competition in order to have a hitch-free exercise.
The goal is to maintain a professional fighting force that will perform its role in protecting the president and the seat of power. Sifon Essien, TVC News, Abuja.
The data protection bill signed by President Tinubu has the potential of generating 500,000 jobs within the data protection ecosystem. And that's according to the National Commissioner of the Nigeria Data Protection Commission, Vincent Olatunji. Mr. Olatunji stated this while addressing newsmen on the implementation of the act. Celestina Area reports.
Nigeria recorded 82,000 data breaches in the first quarter of 2023. This is according to a report by cybersecurity company Surfshark. These latest numbers represent 64% increase from the fourth quarter of 2020, in which the most populous African country recorded 50,000 data breaches. With that development, Nigeria ranks 22nd on the list of countries with the most data breaches in the first quarter of 2023. This is worse than the 41st, which it ranked in the last quarter of 2022. With the Data Protection Bill signed by President Bola Tinubu, its implementation will mean every organization, regardless of size, must cooperate with the government and demonstrate compliance as a statutory requirement. Organizations are to perceive this development as an exciting journey towards building trust, establishing robust data protection structures, and fortifying Nigerians' position in the global digital economy landscape. To ensure nationwide compliance, the NDPC has outlined key initiatives and future developments. These range from graphics, public awareness campaigns, development of implementation framework, capacity building for data protection officers, issuance of DPCO practice guidelines and sectoral guidance notices, upscale of registration processes, and compliance audit filing calendar.
When the act was signed by Mr. President now, we've received a lot of questions, a lot of comments, some very funny, some showing the level of ignorance in the data protection ecosystem in the country. For instance, somebody asked, oh, that means when we subscribe, our data will not finish early. We don't have to be subscribing every week. There are two different things, completely two different things. Here we're talking about your personal data in terms of your names, your telephone numbers, your email addresses, your bank account numbers, your BVNs, and your sensitive information. Like
President Bola Tinubu's administration is set to create over 1 million jobs in the digital economic sector. Celestina Area, TVC News, Abuja.
And now to Kano State, where the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has laid down modalities that would mitigate drug abuse and misuse. Zonal Commandant of NLDLEA, Mariam Sani, disclosed this during a pull-out parade of the state commandant in the state. TVC News correspondent Ibrahim Issa reports.
Kano State Northwest Nigeria has been in the forefront of drug abuse in the past. Authorities in the state are putting heads together to put the numbers in check. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency (NDLEA) operatives in Kano converged to perform a pull-out parade for their commandant and discuss issues relating to the fight against drug abuse, misuse and trafficking to be achieved.
When you take your job seriously and do whatever it takes to make it improve, that is when you become a full-fledged member. Whatever is happening, you are known and you are recognized, and you put in your best to uphold the job.
There is nothing more than being dedicated to work and being disciplined. Discipline first, before anything in a parliamentary setup. One has to be disciplined.
The NDLEA operatives are optimistic that sooner or later, Kano will be rid of activities of drug traffickers and abusers. Ibrahim Isa, TVC News, Kano.
Governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, has asked local government chairmen to protect public infrastructure in their domain. The governor spoke through the State Commissioner for Information and Communications, Kingsley Fanwo, after the extraordinary State Executive Council meeting in Lokoja. The governor expressed disappointment in the manner public infrastructure is being vandalized by hoodlums, saying such will not be acceptable going forward. He advised law enforcement agencies to get to the root of the vandalization of the Ochaja Broadcasting Corporation with the aim of bringing perpetrators to book. Some politics now. Former members of the PDP Working Committee in the Imo State have joined the All Progressives Congress. The former PDP officials who visited Governor Hope Uzodimma at the government house in Owerri pledged their support to the Uzodimma-led administration, promising to support his re-election bid. For the governor, the decision to join the APC is a bold one and assured them of his commitment.
Your Excellency, yesterday we addressed the World Press Conference wherein we catalogued our reasons why we have dumped the opposition political party called PDP. The name of the party has become a misnomer because of the dictatorial tendencies of one man who could still not decide either to be national secretary or governorship candidate of the party. It is noteworthy that many founders and stakeholders of the PDP in Imo State have deserted the party right now because of the greed of that particular man. We are also joining APC because of the superlative performance of Your Excellency, which no other governor has achieved since the late Sam.
This Oburuzo is the one headache I have. It's everywhere on social media. God has arrested him. For good. For good. My dear sister, Maria, the man leader, and yourself, and the other, I want to thank you. Let us come together and work together for the interest of our people. And I can assure you, nothing will discriminate against this decision.
A coalition of civil society group wants government to prioritize debt reduction, youth inclusiveness, issues around extractive sector, and the open governance system. The group is recommending cutting down the cost of governance as one way of reducing the country's debt profile. Helen Osamide Akins has details and will return with business news.
Nigeria's external debt has continued to climb in the face of shrinking revenue. According to the Debt Management Office, Nigeria's public debt stock stood at 46.25 trillion naira as of December 31st, 2022. And when the 22.7 trillion naira to be securitized is included, the total public debt climbs to 76.8 trillion naira.
My love for this nation.
Since the coming on board of the Tinubu administration, Nigerians have continued to set an agenda for the government on issues that affect the public, and civil society organizations are not left out. Here at this meeting, this group wants the government, among other things, to address the growing debt profile of the country. This is but one of the myriad of issues the new administration must tackle head-on, given the present economic realities.
It's the Open Treasury platform, which has helped Nigerians to understand how much government spends, on a daily basis, and also to either private entities, to government entities, or to corporate entities. And this has helped society a lot in understanding how the funds of the country has been utilized. And we want things like this to continue.
Using technology and innovation to solve these issues. A lot of what we're doing revolves around good governance, and that is part of what we want to look at. So how do we, for instance...
They also prefer possible ways which the government can address the issues.
Actually bring to life the also report, which actually collapses most of these MDAs to eliminate ghost workers, because we know that that's also always been a challenge. We need to cut the cost of governance. We can't announce austerity measures for citizens while the people in government are enjoying the benefits of the country.
For young people, it is very easy to reach them through social media, through other technology mediums. So rather than the traditional ways, to get more people on board, through hackathons, for instance, through getting them to participate in Twitter-thons and things like that.
Resolutions reached at the meeting will be sent in a communique for implementation.
Civil society organizations are stakeholders in the affairs of governance. For an administration that has promised to carry the people along, the government must listen and address the concerns of this group as they represent the concerns of the masses. Helen Osamede Akins, TVC News, Abuja.